Hello and welcome to my little greenhouse today. It's when I'm working here that I get the most ideas for these videos, so I hope you enjoyed this one today. I'm going to be talking about lagging skills or skills a child hasn't fully developed yet. When we talk about lagging skills, we are talking about repeated problems, not the child just being hungry or tired. But children can have meltdowns in homeschool because of lagging skills. And if we don't recognize those lagging skills that are causing meltdowns, they just continue happening. And this can apply to homeschooling or just parenting in general. So often parents don't feel that they can homeschool because their child won't listen to them, has meltdowns, or is defiant. These behaviors may indicate lagging skills that can be identified and fixed. Homeschool allows you the time and the space to do that, but it does take time. Lagging skills are not fixed in a day, but so often, instead of fixing lagging skills and working on our relationship with our children, we give up or we give in because we don't know how to work with them. And there is really no child who cannot learn from his or her parent if the parent is willing to go through a tremendous amount of work and patience. You'll even find that your own character will be changing as you go through this process with your children. Like I said, find so much symbolism in my greenhouse that applies to homeschool. And I'm here with my rosemary plant that I'm very proud of, that I have been able in the past to grow rosemary in the ground in my garden, but I had trouble keeping it alive in a pot. But with a little bit of study and attention to this plant, I've realized that rosemary plants growing in the ground do not need fertilizer, but a potted plant of rosemary will run out of nutrients more quickly. So if I give it fertilizer after it flowers, it grows much better in a pot. This is symbolic of how we can help lagging skills in our children with some study and effort. It's not that I just kept persisting and trying at growing rosemary. It's that I stopped and studied and realized what needed to change in order to actually grow rosemary more effectively. Let's look at an example. So a common lagging skill in children is feeling overwhelmed and not having the skills to handle feeling overwhelmed. If your child consistently melts down when you tell her to go clean her room, for example, you might get upset, threaten punishment, etc. But if that continues to be a pattern, it will continue to be a battle and a source of stress until you address the underlying problem and fix the lagging skill. So instead of punishing or threatening or getting angry, try recognizing the lagging skill and creating a plan of action to fix it. It takes some time at first, but it is so worth it. So this is how I suggest going about fixing lagging skills. First, identify the lagging skills, such as the child doesn't know how to handle feelings of overwhelm, or the child hasn't developed the motor skills needed for writing long pieces of writing. The child hasn't learned how to express if they don't understand something, and so on. In the case of cleaning a bedroom, the child might feel overwhelmed or stuck, or the child doesn't understand what kind of cleaning the parent wants. Like, is it just picking stuff off the floor or vacuuming, etc.? So, number 2 is to talk to your child about the issue, but first help the child calm down. I suggest not trying to teach or fix an issue when the child is upset ever. Develop the ability to calm yourself and the child first. And to do this, you might use humor or, for example, go sit by your child and pick up a stuffed animal saying something funny. Just yesterday, actually, I did this with my totally out of control son. I took the nearest thing to me, which was a stuffed koala bear, and said in a silly voice, "Are you a eucalyptus tree? Let me see." And then I held the koala bear to my son's arm, acting as if it was eating my son's arm. And the koala bear then said, "That's the grossest eucalyptus tree I've ever tasted." And it worked. The tantrum was calmed down. You also might use acts of service, rubbing the child's back, giving the child a foot bath, reading them a book, getting them a snack, and so on, or just letting the child go to another place to calm down. And it might not be until later in the day or the next day that you talk to the child about the issue. And third, once the child is calm, be gentle, understanding, and validating. As often as you can, emphasize that you are listening to them and that you are their best support and friend, not their enemy. You might say, "I can see how cleaning a whole room can feel overwhelming. I used to feel that way when I was a kid." Or, "I can see how cleaning a whole room by yourself might feel really difficult." Number 4, then, talk about solutions. Either offer the child suggestions or talk together and ask for their ideas as well. For example, ways to fix the lagging skill of overwhelm are to learn how to ask for help when you're feeling overwhelmed and to break larger tasks into smaller parts. I had an elementary age son who always broke down when he had to clean his room, so I started cleaning it with him, showing him how to break the enormous job of cleaning a room into small, easy tasks. I would say, okay, I think it's fun to clean your room with you, so as long as you're working, I will work with you. If you aren't working, I'll have to leave until you're ready to work with me. Why don't you pick up all the clothes on the floor and put them in a pile while I make the bed? Then I might say, great, now go and gather all of your books and put them on your nightstand while I start picking up the Lego bricks. I did this with my child for weeks, and it honestly didn't go perfect at first, but it improved over time. Then I asked him to start assigning me the tasks, one for me and one for him, so that he could practice observing the mess and seeing how he could break it up himself. But I'm still helping him so he doesn't get too overwhelmed. Eventually, he started cleaning his room by himself, and it worked until his room was an enormous mess again. A massive mess would cause him to break down again, so then I trained him to come and ask me for help whenever he felt overwhelmed. And I told him I would help him every time, and that took a while for him to learn as well, but he got it. And it took us about a year to get to that point, an entire year. However, it's beautiful and heartwarming because now he comes to me and says, Mom, I'm overwhelmed with my room today. Can you help me? He has learned to overcome lagging skills he has had, and not only does he clean his room now, but he has also gained the important skills that will help him throughout his life, knowing how to better handle other situations when he feels overwhelmed. Learning this concept is vital for homeschool success, especially if your child struggles to behave and listen to you. Children who have learned good habits have a greater underlying sense of stability, calmness, confidence, and self-control. And all of these videos go hand in hand, and you can't really have one without the others. I do believe that taking the time to watch these videos and learn, just like I took some time to learn about my rosemary and how to make it thrive, can literally change both you and your child's lives. So I will see you very soon. I am wishing you all the best in your homeschool journey. Believe in it. Keep going. God gave you your child because you are the right teacher for that child, and you are a powerful, beautiful influence in their life.